So I saw this bike on Facebook Marketplace and I immediately wanted to buy it. It's from the 80s, it's a two-stroke, and it's a project. The clutch cover was just completely missing, and the engine was filled with leaves, and it was really rusty and bad looking. But it came with a box of parts, so I went ahead and bought it for $400. If you're just joining the series now, basically what I've done up to this point was roll the bike in the shop, strip it down, and pull the engine. Oh, and I rebuilt the engine. Let's get back to present day. Alright, well, I've been working on this bike for several months. Had to track down parts from Australia and all across the country. I'm gonna try and start this thing today. Pretty excited. The only thing left is I gotta hook up electrical, which is just these two wires. So I'll plug those into the coil, or the ignition module. Gotta put our spark plug on, and it should be ready to kick. I don't have a carb on, but I'll throw some brake clean down there and try and get it to fire. We'll see if it's alive. I cut this wire off because it was all mangled. So I'm just going to quick connect those two, so I'll have a kill switch in case I need it, but don't really need it, honestly. Let me gap this plug, and then I'll try and get spark. Should be 24 thousandths of an inch. That looks pretty good. Could go a little, tiny bit bigger. Alright, let's see if we have spark. So let me just plug this here. Get this to stay on the head while I kick it. And as far as these go, I need to look at my picture. Okay, it appears green was forwardmost, so get our green plugged, black. Just do a quick Wago connection to get us going. I think it's actually time to at least check for spark. So let's see if we have any spark. Wow. I did not expect that after what was under the magneto cover. It was so bad under there. Cool. Well, I guess we'll torque this in and give it a kick with some fire juice. And that feels like really good compression. It's only 12 foot-pounds. Well, let's see what it can do. Okay, here goes nothing. I really don't know what to expect. It's weird because it kicks on the left. Oh! Okay. Ugh. That's amazing. Jeez, that's probably bad to not have any kind of throttle restriction on it, but that fired up. Oh my gosh, and that's me just guessing the timing based on the last guy who set it up. Oh my gosh, that feels good to hear. I had earplugs in, that was freaking loud, so I imagine it was horribly loud. Sweet, alright. So now might be a good time to revisit something that happened in the last video. Let me show you guys the clip. It looks good, but I don't know why I can't rotate. Maybe I'm not in neutral. Should still rotate though. Could be a problem. Well, there's no getting around this. The engine is not shifting. I've got to pull the whole thing out. I think from rewatching old footage, I missed a thrust washer. Spoiler alert, I didn't miss a thrust washer. This was just me assembling the gear sets incorrectly, so we'll go ahead and skip this. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. Unfortunately, this is just a thing that happens with engine building, especially on dirt bikes, I guess. So, I don't know, be careful when you rebuild. And I should have checked all the gears before I went further than putting the case halves back together. Alright, I gotta pull it apart. That's how it goes. Alright, so I pulled the engine out. That wasn't too bad. Pretty easy. Threw it on the bench, got all the oil drained out so I could open it up and try and see if it would shift. That's what I'm doing right here is I'm throwing the shift lever back on and I'm trying to get it to go in gears and things. It really wasn't working, so ended up just having to tear the whole thing down completely and rebuild it, which was actually good. I got to clean up some things, do things a second time a little better than the first time around. Got it fully rebuilt, and let's get back to the install. Crack here, spooging out. It's pretty rusty. Just doing a quick before shot. I think I'm gonna wire this thing down, paint it up, weld it. Okay. This came out really nice. It's very matte, and it's already completely dry, which is crazy. Nice matte black. Go ahead and bolt that up. Okay, so this is all rigged up. I used the original hoses here because the hose I had bought, this blue stuff, just didn't work. Everything here has different diameters, so there's a different diameter here, here's different, that's different, off the head is different. Yeah, the radiators are a special diameter. I think I'm gonna redo everything. So this is just for trialing and testing, but everything should be tight and good. I want to get new radiators entirely because these have really been beaten. You can see where that one's been repaired. Be nice to get one that has a fresh cap as well. But remember on this cooling system, you got to use waterless coolant because we have a magnesium case, and you don't want to screw that up with water. It's going to corrode it. So I'm going to use this Evans waterless coolant. Should be good to go. Under that trash truck guy just talked to me because I threw away too much dirt. Because there was too much dirt, or too many weeds in my dirt. So I shoveled some dirt into the trash. I don't know. That pipe looks good though. I want to do some work on the silencer today. But it's got some spooge. You can see how much oil is residing in the silencer packing. That's just crazy. I've been keeping it in this bucket to see how much would like drain out, and if it's draining out like that, I mean this thing is probably loaded full. I'm gonna try and break this thing open. Goodness. Nice, actually got one. Oh yeah, T10. And they're soaked in oil, so like, I'm surprised they're getting stuck. Stupid. Come on. Oh yeah. Great. Oh. Nasty. That looks like homemade. Ugh. That's where all the oil is. Not terrible. Alright. I need to repack my exhaust silencer. I don't think it should be too crazy. I'm going to use this Tusk insulation or whatever it's called, silencer packing. I think I got kind of twice what I need in terms of width. So if we look at my silencer, it's just glass foam. I mean, I think you could use any glass foam to do this. Now I've scored a path. Never done this. Cool. I believe I can just roll it. It's kind of hard to roll. So that's way too big to fit in there. I gotta be careful how I cut this off. You know, this was the only bolt I could find because it was 832. It was a standard size, which is weird to find on this bike. Maybe this isn't the original US patent. No, it has a US patent. So yeah, 8/32, and I wasn't going to use button heads again, so I used these guys, which aren't like, they're not that much better. I'd prefer a bolt head, but yeah, looks pretty good. I want to see if the petcock works. Oh, come on. Feels very seized up. Let's see if there's anything in here, or if this works. Nope, seems like it's clogged up. Just had to blow some air through it. Alright, I know the freaking air conditioning's super loud, but let's see if this fuel is still very volatile, because it's so old. Okay. Yeah, it's still volatile. Dang, son. It's so loud. Not that loud. Well, there it is, running. Sounds sweet. Lots more work to do, but we are over the hill, I would say. That's it for this episode, but please subscribe so you can catch the next one where we take the bike out of the garage for the first time in a long time, do some other repairs, and take it for its first ride. As always, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.